Alright, I'm gonna go cut to the room right now. We're over here now. And I'll put this up, just a BGM. And before I do anything else, I just want to say hello everyone for coming out. Thank you. I know I haven't streamed for a while. Is there any echo, by the way? Any audio issues? By the way, I'll tell you briefly what happened. I was overworked. I think on some days I end up just sleeping way too much. And I had ideas for streams for a while, like kind of like in this format. Thank you, Auxiliary, for telling me. Yeah. This is kind of new to me. It's gonna be fun. Tommy left us! Oh, yeah, it was over a week. That's the problem, it was over a week. And yeah, I got overworked, and then every time I come home from work, Irie would be streaming Honkai or Star Rail or something. And that was always funny. I was briefly in a collab a little while ago. That's about it. Anyways, I'm glad to see you all again. I'm glad to actually be streaming. Low Genki! Yeah, it was low Genki. I didn't have any of the Genki. I usually do. And then there was, she didn't stream for a while, so that was also a thing. She supports my Genki. But today, I want to talk about, what up? Skelly Bro. Love Skelly Bro. If you're not into manhwas, this is maybe a good intro. That's alright, do what you need to, but glad to see you back, fam. Thank you. I do want to put up my grind set a little more. And there is, like, every day, every night, that would hit like 3 a.m. and I woke up or something, I'm like, should I do that one stream I wanted to do about cryptids? And I'm like, oh, that's my idea. I'm gonna try to do a late night stream, and we're just gonna browse and look for like urban legends or cryptids or something. And of course, the thing that's always bothering me too is that we have the gaming streams, and I think the only game I ever beat was the first Mega Man X, and that's starting to like dwell on me. Anyways, we'll go to the main topic at hand, and today we're talking about the skeleton. Yeah. I hope I have some ideas for streaming, and I really, somebody told me a really funny mentality. She's like, hey, well, what? He's like, pretend like she watches your content at work or whatever. And I doubt that happens. But onto the actual topic. The skeleton soldier that failed to defend the dungeon. It's a long mouthful title, but I'll tell you something. It's really good. It's super good, bros. It's about a skeleton, like a generic skeleton enemy dude, right? And he fucking dies, bro. He dies at like the start of the comic, right? Pretty well, manhwa. It's good and a bit confusing. I will say, I will talk about why it gets confusing. Yeah, he dies. This is the point. He does die a lot, but when he dies, he ends up going back in time or whatever, right? So hold on. Did I? Oh no, I barely like saved half the images. No. Where? Oh yeah, I even. She does the VOD someday. Oh, she does find the VOD. Oh no. Well, this is kind of inspired by one of her streams. It's pretty cool. But yeah, he dies, and so does his Oshi, and he was really upset about that. So this is like our first quote-unquote necromancer introduced, right? There's female characters called necromancers, and he has like bonds with them or whatever. But this is where he fails to defend the dungeon because his waifu gets killed, right? So it's all pretty sad and all that. And then he goes back like 20 years later. And, well, 20 years earlier, before like any of this happens. And he pretty much grind sets, right? Because he's like a returner type character. And hold on, I'll get rid of this image. This is kind of like the format of how the comic works, right? If you do not like the isekai typical video gamey stuff, this is not a this might not be your thing, you know. But it's done really well, I think. Although he gets so many abilities that I tend to forget how many abilities he has. You know, it's like the typical Manhwa thing when it comes to that. But he's sort of breaking it. Yeah, it gets around to it. He doesn't die as often in the newer ones, right? But like the very first reset, he dies you know, he has to like learn from the deaths. It's kind of like what's that one called? Oh man, I get all these isekais confused sometimes. ReZero. It's kind of like ReZero in that way. I think my brother was talking about this one, escaping the sunfish. Yeah, I mean it's pretty great because you do get to see the progress and all that. But I will say, someone mentioned, Celis mentioned it being a bit confusing. I'm trying to avoid spoilers the best I can, right? But he meets the first ever necromancer that revives him, right? And one of his first goals is to like save her. And you know, first time around that doesn't go well. And then there's like all these diverging timelines. Like there's a main timeline, but he keeps getting reset. Sometimes he's reset and like loses all the progress from the other timelines. But he keeps his like powers and his stats and all that. Art style glow ups. Yeah. It happens. This is one of the manhwa I really liked because it gets better as the seasons go on. Like the ending to the first season made me really the ending to the first season was kind of it was weird, bros. Oh, I'm trying not to spoil anything. Yeah, sorry about that. But this is where it kind of gets weird. It gets really strange here, homies. I didn't like the ending of the first season as much, but it's really just there to, so it was released like seasonal. As in like there was a first season, a second season. I'll say the second season's amazing, right? Compared to the first season. But this first season, it ends kind of like they rush a bunch of powers he gets towards the end. Because he gets, I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but one of the necromancers he knows gives him like a power to like absorb skills or whatever, right? And so they kind of rush a power up so that he's like prepared for the second season or whatever. And this is really weird because they introduced a lot of world building elements that were just, I don't know, are they ever touched on again? I have no clue. They introduced like technology we never seen. The end of the lab thing was crazy. I'll admit, I'm mostly gone to season 3 currently. I've been a workaholic recently, and I've been reading other recommends as well. But it was crazy because the ending of this first season was it was like they throw so much stuff at you. But yeah, it's to power him up, and they want to introduce a lot to the world and all that. I don't know how I feel about this character. It is introduced at the worst part. But we have this guy, Leandro. He's kind of like the main villain of the first season. He's kind of not a villain. He's just there. I'm up to date. New white hair guy is cool. There's a new one? Oh no. So, this guy is, well, he becomes literally me for Skelly, bro, at some point. But don't worry. They're like rivals or something. I'm sure they're friendly. I'm only messing around. But there are like well, this guy's kind of like they introduced like this whole empire plot thing, right? The conspiracy plot involving like this symbol. And this symbol's pretty cool. It's introduced at the very beginning. It's always been like a plot element. And there's an arc later on where I really like that arc where Skelly Bro does an alternative timeline where he's like, what if I join the villains and call it a day? And I'll say, I will minor spoilers because I like this image. Something like this happens. He tries to achieve his goal through the villains. Whoops. rip. It's a pretty cool Skinwalker based plot. But yeah. Wait, I'll tell you like one of the major villains that he's actually like scary in a lot of elements, right? And I guess you can kind of spoil it for me if he's not really a main villain anymore. But this guy is like Buffalo Bill status creepy, right? Yeah, the Duke, the girl, yeah. The guy's absolutely insane. He's scary strong. The worst part is he's scary strong, right? And he's like involved deeply into this like conspiracy, and he could like murk anybody at any time. Season 2 has this Kino ending involving like a transformation thing with the knight, the skeleton knight. Let's go. But still, this guy's just too powerful. He can kill people easily. He scares me, is all I'm saying. Great villain design too. And then he's always hitting on this poor knight guy. that's another thing, because he's like a subordinate at that rate. Alright, I did want to talk about that, and then I could just talk about like random things. Like for example, there's a pretty funny character that's introduced later. It's this crow guy. Now this crow guy, the reason I put him here, I guess he gives me him from that's exactly what he's like. He's like him from Powerpuff Girls. Except reminds me of Evil Bishop Prisoner. Yeah. Yeah, he is like that, and he's like him from Powerpuff Girls. Definitely like that. He's scary strong. It's how like Skelly Bro has a chance against him when he's introduced. Even his like minion, he has like a hit squad, right? And even one of his hit squad members can take out Skelly Bro, no problem. That's just how powerful he is. And then later on, yeah, we're introduced to this crow guy. I won't spoil why this crow guy exists. One of the crow's deaths is alright, I will spoilers. Characters die very often, especially those close to Skelly Bro. In fact, that night guy dies very often too. The one I introduced earlier. But yeah, this guy, he hates the goddess because the goddess sealed him away or something, and he's really salty. Oh no! Wait! Okay, I know the reason why he was cursed. It was funny. Wait, it's he decided to go to a temple, and he just sexed all the priestesses, and that's why he was cursed by the goddess. He defiled the temple, bros. Anyways, so he does have simps. My Oshi simps for him. I'll tell you why my Oshi simps for him. Hold on. Do I have him actually set up? Oh yeah. I just have it as Irie simp. Hold on. He looks like that in his human form, so obviously he gets a lot of fangirls. You know? So that's his non-cursed form. He's a pretty good character though, but he's kind of like one of those untrustworthy ally type deals, you know? And that's later on he gets more trustworthy kind of deal. You know, they gotta build up the trust, the bond, the relationship. And of course, since it's the UI thing, they tell you exactly how these relationships wane out, right? I would still say, read this. None of the spoilers I'm saying are actually important, right? There's so many resets. It's really good. I enjoy the first season's good at the start, I'll tell you that. It hooks you on early, because it starts really low, I guess, low power level, he gains higher, right? If you like that kind of thing that some people do. It's like Subaru if he actually gains something on resets besides just knowledge. There is like some kind of like hidden deep plot about why this is all going on too. And then, you know, there's a conspiracy story, so it's all really great. Yeah, but there is like a, if you don't like characters dying, then good luck. Subaru actually learns to fight. Exactly. He does. And he does try to like change up his tactics and all that. Like even the first time he gets murked. Now I'll tell you, I'll put the one I put Tommy Sim for. Reina here, the thief girl, is probably the best necromancer. It, for me at least. She's the one that's always helping Skelly Bro out. She's not the one that needs protection as much, although she does need it somewhat. Yeah, Reina. Yeah, Reina's great. Cause she like I said, she's capable on her own. She's introduced as like a trickster type character anyways. And she repays the favor to Skelly Bro a ton. Personally, the half undead one's the, oh, you mean, yeah, I would have saved her image, right? She's the one that pretty much gives Skelly Bro a major boost in like power. But she's introduced at a really cool part of the story, and she's like, yeah, she could pretty much command Skelly Bro at first. Yeah, she's on the cover. Yeah, she's right there on the right side. There she is. The half undead one, yep. She's like a master necromancer type deal. She could raise like a lot of minions and stuff. Pretty cool. And then there's these weird knights that get introduced around the same time. But it shows the power of like the Imperial family and all that. I don't even think the Imperial family has power. I think it's just the Empire in general. Anyways. I did want to talk about this. I wondered how long I would go on for like Skelly Bro for. But yeah, it is pretty much a power autism thing, you know? He gains all his powers like through killing enemies, or they have like this weird system with synchronization and all that, and it breaks at some point and it leads to a really Kino scene where he's like fighting this monster. It's like, oh, it's impossible to kill this monster. He's like, nah, this is child play. She got some more development recently. Wait, what do you mean, quote unquote, development? What did you mean by that? Anyways, I like that this manhwa seems to get better as it goes on, right? The story goes forward. Well, I hope so. She was the least developed from what I recalled. You know? It makes sense. She's one of the they focused on Rubia, top right. Is this on Webtoon? I believe, is it? Hold on. I will talk about the legal sites where it possibly is. I think it's on Webtoon though. Webtoon. So I'm being cringe right now. Yeah, I'm trying not to. No, I'm not entirely sure, but there's that other website too. I keep forgetting the name of it, but it usually has a lot of manhwas up there. I'm gonna try to find it for you guys. I'll try to update, you know, which sites are good for you. The one I'm mentioning does have like a time pass related thing. Yeah, there's one with like a free time pass, but I don't know about that. And then Manga Dex, I think my friend recommended. Well, that was the legal on Ondais. I thought I asked before through other means. Yeah, it's alright. I tried my best to always, you know, like, I'm not going to talk about that kind of, like, stuff on stream or, like, use from, like, illegal sites, you know? That's weird. Anyways. But, yeah, I'll try to update on where you can find it. Yeah. I heard the Manga Dex thing is usually a thing for it. Oh, I'm tripping up right now on my words. I left Reina on too long on screen. Man, I was only joking around, homies. But yeah, love Skelly Bro because he's just like me. He just wants to protect his Oshi. True. Anyways, Skelly Bro does Okay, I will say Skelly Bro does get like a human form at some point because he needs like a disguise because, you know, who would trust a walking around skeleton, you know? I won't say who the disguise is of, but he's pretty much a lookalike of an existing character. Yeah, human, quote unquote. Oh yeah, by the way, that thief character Rada really wants to bone the bro, the Skelly Bro. Well, then again, all the necromancers kind of do. Cause he's got the riz with necromancers, and they all want to hop on his bone. Maybe even the crow guy. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah. So like I said, it is kind of like what is it? SAO tier like skill. You know, they do the video gaming things. If you don't really like the video game aesthetic, right? It's not going to be too great for you. But it's a good way of managing like the skills and all that. A lot of manhwa these days do go with the UI type setup. I'm mainly only going to talk about Skelly Bro today. I might talk about other things another time, right? But I was thinking about more stuff to mention. Like I wanted to put like I wanted to talk about martial artist Lee Kwok a little bit, right? But that manhwa's dead. Like it's dead. They got to 100 pages left on like no 100 chapters, and they left on a really good spot, and they're just like, yeah. By the way, it's canceled. Alright, my assumption is the art style, and I feel bad because the art style is really unique for a manhwa. I really enjoyed the thing when it comes to how it, you know, like usually I've read similar. Yeah, the art is great and the story is great, but some people were really complaining about the art. It's kind of like being a fan of Kaiji, you know? Or being a fan of Akagi or any Fukumoto work, right? People not like the art style. I don't know why. It's really good for like kinetic motion in that manhwa. I might talk about it next time. I'll put that along with something else. Because I feel like that's something I could talk about. I wish more serious. I wish like as much as I love Skelly Bro, it is kind of like I do see similar art styles in manhwa a lot, right? That's something that usually is similar. I feel like it's more like a lot of it, like you know, Solo Leveling has the really good art, but it is kind of like the art style that's used a lot. I wonder what. Hold on, I'm just gonna look at some stuff that where is it? What else did I save? I can't believe I didn't save a lot of these what is it? I was thinking of, oh, get rid of the Tommy Sim thing. There we go. We're good. So while I'm talking about it, I'll just leave up like kind of like how the leveling system and all that works, because the game, oh, I almost said game. The manhwa has a leveling system, right? And by the way, during the stream, I just shilled Skelly Bro, and I do shill Skelly Bro out. I'm really trying to avoid. Okay, this is the spoilers. Not only messing. But I did like the lab. Wait, the lab you referred to earlier, Celis? That was the dungeon, right? Wild West Murmurin has a similar style and it's pretty good. Do you want so League Walk is apparently a part of like this universe thing, right? So they also have that demon, the fist demon story I was reading about. That sounds really weird out of context, first of all. But the whole thing about that is that it's part of this shared universe. And then there's a really weird one that came out recently called like the Reaper of the Drifting Moon or something. And they drew the male character becomes like very femboyish, and I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, Fist Demon, a demon is in the same universe. I believe the author, it's similar author, and they all what is it called? They all share the same universe. Because there's references to like each story. And well, they use the same sex, but to sex, right? Not sex. I'm not bro lime, okay? uh, SECT. Yeah, Northern Br. That's why I was about to say Northern Blade because they use the same names as well. Northern Blade's really good. I'll talk about the entire. I'll probably talk about each individual like story next time. This one I want it to be like a short little stream. No, no, it's actually Sexu. Oh no, no, it wasn't generic. Merman. I thought it could have been, but they all share the same author. So I'm sure it's his like shared universe. Although Northern Blade is probably my favorite one. I wanted League Walk to really be my favorite, but I have to like learn Korean first before I do anything. And I say that as an excuse a lot. I go, yeah, I want to learn Korean to translate League Walk, not for any other purpose. I just want to talk to my Oshi in her native language, bros. Anyways, I liked League Walk. Yeah, it was like I like League Walk more, but I want it, but it doesn't have like enough content to really make it like the best for me. I do like how the story progressed though for League Walk. I'm really like I didn't prepare any like slides or anything for League Walk, which is sad because I'm only gonna be talking about Skeleton Soldier then, and I'm like, this is going to be a short little stream. Personally, I like the chilled nature of the series compared to most. Well, yeah, I'll talk about it when I talk about it. But he's pretty much a subordinate for most of the story so far. Well, in the manhwa, it's kind of Overdog playing the underdog type story. Because he's pretty much one of those generic disciple guys that you see like guarding guarding the entrance to a dojo or something, and that's his like whole deal. It's pretty great. Okay. The whole reason he gets his powers is actually really cool. It's kind of like Skelly Soldier in a way. He just gets fucked up really bad. Exactly. He just wants to keep to himself. By the way, I'm gonna ask some spoilers from chat, okay? Does she ever get any development? Did we get around to Miss Succubus that he like simps over? You can spoil this for me. I just need to know. Cause he keeps thinking about her over and over. I think there's like some hidden plot meaning behind it. But he was with her for like years, because in the story there's like this whole demonic war where the demons win against the humans. And but then the humans come back and then they have to all hide in like their dungeons and stuff, right? And that's the summary that they tell you like in the beginning. It's not exactly a spoiler. Cause Skelly Bro will tell us ahead of time about the like what's gonna happen in future events. There was a tiny bit recently, but she's getting closer. If he doesn't die, they'll probably meet soonish. Wait, are they that far in the timeline now? Damn, that's pretty crazy. Cause like, well, unless he meets her before like the exact like. Okay, so there's a huge demon war, and his whole thing is to prep for like this demon war. At the point, I don't know exactly what side Skelly Bro's on when it comes to that, cause he loves the demons, of course. You know? Well, he loves some of the demons. I don't think he actually likes the top demons. But, he does like Miss Succubus, who's like a servant of one of them. Or is she a demon lord? I think she's just a servant of one of the demon lords. But, I think he could act, like, in the timeline, he talked about, like, ways of delaying the start of, like, the demon invasion and all that. And a lot of the demon lords you do run into in the story are kind of like jerks, you know? They're kind of dicks, man. They're kind of awful. Them coming just is like, oh, well, he's gonna get murked. Rip. Because Skelly Bro is on his own side at this point. He's got his own girls. He's just got I said his own girls because the whole thing is he's kind of a simp, but I appreciate him because the whole thing is he's got the Riz and all the All the ladies appreciate him. At least all the necromancer ones. Actually, all the... I don't know, he just got Riz in general. And I know that's like, oh, typical harem protagonist guy, right? But like they give it, they give like an universe explanation of why it happens. Skelly's goal is to stop all the demons' nonsense. Yeah, pretty much. Because technically, if they stop the demon war thing, then his lady won't be murked, and they won't lose the war, and stuff like that. And I think that's all 20 years in the timeline, so he goes 20 years back. And yeah, he's just a low-ranking soldier at that point, and he does talk about his like past services, like before. The reason he does have a reason why he likes the succubus so much, right? It's because he used to serve for a different demon lord, and he was like, you know, treated like a, you know, like a disposable. But he went under service of Miss Succubus, and she was like, oh, you'll be like my personal guard and all that. And she treated him way nicer. And that's why. Anyways, that's one thing. And also, I assume there has to be like a synchronization type break thing reason. There's probably like a meta reason of why he likes her so much. Because they do have like some kind of meta thing going on. Like I said earlier, when he destroys that like giant monster and he just wrecks a giant monster no problem, is because he's like, yeah, do you want this world for me as a game? And then he just ends up destroying this guy. That was like the only... Is there any more of those synchro breaks? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty much going to wrap it up for this stream, I think. I'm sorry if it's a shorter stream. I didn't even go on for like an hour. But I did do a lot of prep work for this, and I want to mainly test how this will work out, right? I guess I could talk more about the story and all that, but like I said, I want to recommend this one story, right? I want to recommend this one story. I don't want to spoil it too much. There was something after the lab incident. Okay. But thanks Celis for telling me all about like some stuff I'm either blanking on or I'm blanking on it currently, or I haven't caught up entirely, and I should catch up entirely. Also, I will give some in-lore thing. Ari was doing a stream on Manhwa rankings, and I'm afraid I influenced her decision on Skeletal Soldier too much, because she wanted to put it in a lower tier, but she put it in great, I think. And I'm like, yeah, the first part was rushed, but like season 2 was really good, and I really like a lot of the parts in season 3, like the alt timelines, the dungeon explorations, and all that. Oh, I like when they go into like the conspiracy stuff. I like the conspiracy story. Happens chapter 20-ish, 200-ish. Got it. I think maybe I read it. I'm unsure. Or no, wait, probably not. Anyways, these guys are creepy. Like, it starts off as like such a small little thing, like just, oh, these villainish characters have this tattoo, and then it becomes like, oh, skinwalkers, oh, the imperial the whole empire, oh, by the way, man, by the way, they have giant snakes that just eat people. Oh, they also raise skinwalkers. Did I forget that part? The skinwalkers is probably the best part. At this point, I think the entire imperial family might be skinwalkers. But the skinwalkers element is really cool. Anyways, I just enjoy them, and you do meet the mastermind behind all this, right? And it's pretty great, because that's a good arc. I enjoyed it. It's a good what if, and he does gain powers off of it. But it was okay. You had to see Skelly Bro had to do like some like super, like he had to end hero for that. What chapter up to? Because they are doing the same for other things. The problem is a lot of my progress for Manhwa and stuff got deleted with my hard drive reset. I had a hard drive reset recently. Well, I actually swapped out the hard drive because it kept dying on me, and so a lot of my progress got reset. So I gotta how I do is I use my long-term memory to just read whatever chapters I'm on. Yeah, I need to download more series. Makes sense. Anyways, for the next time, alright, I'm gonna briefly wrap it up, chat. It was fun. Oh, you've been using Ken. Do you want? I'll probably take your advice on that because I definitely need to keep track of the series I'm reading. There's also a series my Oshi recommended that I've been reading as well. Yeah, Otsutami. But before I Otsutami, right? I wanna just tell you guys something about future plans. I want to do more of these morning streams. I like Celis's idea. I like they brought up Northern Blade and League Walk. And I'm going to... My next one will be talking about the shared universe of that series. It'll probably be a longer series, right? I'll prep more, and then I'll try to do those cryptid... the cryptid format will be different. It'll be... I'll use a browser, probably like Opera GX, and we'll just search up info on the cryptids. So, Otsutami, I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, remember to watch Pippa. I believe Pippa and Kirshi are probably having a collab. And watch Irie. Irie's gonna have a watch along for what is it? That Neko Girls thing. Oh man, it's been so long. I saw that on the Weatherman's channel like so long ago. Otsutami. Oh yeah, thanks everyone for coming out. Deadmat Gaming, Trobe, Auxiliary Character, Celis. You guys, I enjoy when chat talks a lot too.